So it's as simple as this. So far, this is a range of data, which is just cells, numbers, and a line of headers. I select the range of data, and I go to Insert Table. Dialog box opens. Watch out with this checkbox, My Table as Headers. That means that the first row is understood as containing the category labels of the values inside the range. That means the description of what the numbers or letters in the column means. Not now. Notice when you are inside the table, I'm not here inside the table here, I click anywhere inside the table, please notice what happens up there. Table Tools special section of Excel appears. Table Tools, in this case, it means that I have a design where I can style my table the way I see best fit, like this. And the first thing that we can do with the table is notice that we have these buttons on top of the header row where we can do a couple of things. First of all, sort. Largest to smallest. And I'm setting it for Monday. That means now I want to have a table with the largest flights for Monday. The entire table changes, but these buttons are also filters for the data. Let's say I only want Fiumicino and London Heathrow. And then that's it. I have a table that is just Fiumicino and London Heathrow, and it is sorted by most populated flights on Monday. Those numbers here are the number of passengers inside that flight. When you select the table, on the bottom right corner, you can see a small button, rather useful. It's called the Quick Analysis Tools. In the next slide, we will have a look at the options available. The Quick Analysis Tools has 5 different set of commands, set of options inside. Formatting, charts, totals, tables, and spark lines. In this slide, we have just selected formatting. And that means you can format the cells inside this table as data bars, color, icon set, graded than, text, or just clear any formatting. In the next video, I will show you what this means. Quick Analysis Tools in action. The quick analysis applies to parts of the table or to the entire table, depending on what we want to do. In this table, we have numerical data, number of passengers per flight, but also lateral data, destination airports, and flight numbers. Now, these flight numbers are numbers, yes, but they are not real numbers, meaning that there is no relationship between them. 4325, it's higher than 4321, but that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean that this flight is bigger than the other one. So we will not consider for the moment the flight numbers, and we will work on the table of data, which we might want to analyze with quick analysis button. So the first thing is formatting. Formatting shows us a better idea of how the data into the cells are organized, of the meaning of the data in the table. So this is data bars, and you notice that using these data bars, cells with like Thursday, the first two flights on Thursday, 99 and 99, are full blue. The first two flights on Wednesday are 56. They are half full with blue. And then lesser flights like 32 and 32 on Thursday, the third and fourth cell, they are only partially colored in blue. So the bar shows visually how big is the data inside that table compared to the other data in the table. How big is the data in that cell? How great is the data in that cell compared to the rest of the data in the table? 99 is the highest number in this table, and so it's considered full, 100%. So the blue bar, it's a visual representation of the percentage of occupation of that flight and the percentage of the value of the content of the cell compared to the maximum value of all the cells. Same things with charts. Charts show in full green the highest values and in full red the lowest ones. It's again, in this case, a visual representation on how things are going in this table of flights. We notice that Thursday is the worst day of the week as for flight numbers, for passengers numbers on the plane. Planes fly almost empty on Thursday, apart from those that are coming to Rome, because everybody wants to come to Rome, evidently. Icon set, it's something that relates to if the numbers are higher or lower than the cell above. In this case, it's meaningless. We can also set in red values that are higher than a certain number, or the top 10%, or we can clear any formatting. Top 10% shows us the top 10% flights as for passenger occupation. That's formatting. A few more information we may have if we also select the destination and then use the quick analysis tools. In this case, the quick analysis tools useful is for charts. I have charts now automatically describing the only possible available value, which is the sum of all flights by destination for the whole days of the week, for each single days of the week. If we want these charts for the days of the week and the destinations together, that's going to be a 3D chart, and we can change the chart that Excel is offering us by dividing by destination, day of the week, and single flight. Or we can have a 3D chart which shows us we need to enlarge it. The days of the week, the destinations, and the flight occupancy. And since this is a 3D chart, we can always, rotate as much as we want. So, quick analysis tools is good also for selecting charts. It's rather useful to understand, to notice that I can still use the chart to select only, say, two destinations, London Heathrow, and the chart changes accordingly. The table is still there, but the chart changes. I want to add one more destination, like, Dallas, Fort Worth, and then I have it. The same thing I can do using the values funnel in Excel itself and in the chart to highlight what happens for each day of the week for each single flight to the destination. For the moment, we stick with this big chart. Notice I always do Ctrl-Z to go back to the original table to show you examples of the quick analysis tools in action, because otherwise we will have overlays of different quick analysis tool results on the same table. So Ctrl-Z or Ctrl-Z if you are in Britain to go back to the original table. The last thing I want to show you about the quick analysis tools, now selecting again just the number values, it's what are the spark lines. Spark lines are mini charts placed on the single cell at the right of the data series we are considering, representing again the relative value of the data into the cell compared to the maximum and minimum values in that data series. In other words, let's choose the columns, which is the more simple to understand. And let me widen this. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bars. One for each one of the day of the week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. American weeks beginning on Sunday. And that shows the relative amount of the value in the cells. It's sort of the bar chart of the quick analysis tools bar charts. It shows us how is it going throughout the week. Flight 4321 to Fiumicino starts with progressively filling the airplane Wednesday, then there is a fall in Tuesday, there's a fall on Wednesday, and then we have full plane on Thursday, which is this one. Then half full on Friday here, and almost nobody, only 23 passengers on Saturday. So this is again one more visual representation of the meaning of the data in this table. We are still in the presentation of the data. Visualize what the numbers, the arid raw numbers, do actually mean. Quick analysis tools is a nice way of quickly adding to the table some meaningful representation on the variation on the trends of the data inside all these cells. One more use of the quick tool chart is quick tool analysis is using the totals. Totals is interesting because it adds columns or rows. In this case, I am adding the sum of all vertical values as a new row to the table. I can use the sum, the average, or the count, which is how many cells are non-empty, how many flights that day, or the total in percentage. The running, it doesn't apply to now. This can be done either at the bottom of the table or moving around at the side of the table. Notice that at the side of the table, a new column, a new variable is added, like sum, average, count, or percentage of total. One more feature of the table is the slicer. The slicer is entering into your table, insert slicer. What is a slicer? A slicer allows us to see on the screen only a subset of data, let's say destinations, so that you can automatically slice the table, extract a subset of the table for the kind of slicer you have selected for the destination. This is good if you do a chart in here. Let me close the slicer, delete the slicer, and show you automatic formulas. When I enter any formula or any function in a cell immediately adjacent the table, an automatic new column, new variable of the table is added. Say now I want to calculate the average of the flights for that flight number. Then I select the entire line. We have done it already. Look, already inside this function argument, you don't see C2 semicolon I2. You see Sunday and Saturday, which are the variable defining, the labels defining that column. A table is something structured. When you see something like this, it means you are inside the table. But let me show you what happens when I just press enter. 1, 2, 3, go. A new column, an entire new column is added automatically to all the tables. So you don't even need to copy and then drop down. The name of the column is Saturday 2 because it's mutuated by the column that it has nearby. That value we have to change it, like average. No, I'm sorry, not that. This one. Average. Let's see what the maximum is. The highest occupancy in this flight per day. Again, this has to be copied here. And so we have again maximum. I sometimes do mistake because I do mistakes. I make mistakes, but they are also useful to understand what could be wrong. And again, this is one more column of the table. Imagine a table which is thousands of lines long, and you understand how useful this is. Sometimes, for some reasons, mostly because you need to chart them, you have to change data with rows, like rotate the table. Well, the range of data in this case. So exchange columns with rows. As you see in the first picture on the left side of this slide, you have sales by region and quarters on vertical and regions horizontal. You might want, for some reason, to change rows with column and have the sales by region and vertical line, and then the quarters on the horizontal line. This is called transpose a matrix, transpose a range of data. And you do this like selecting the range of data you want to rearrange, then use copy, not cut, or Control C if you want. And then when you go to the new cell you want to paste the transposed range of data, then you have to right click and select this third option, transpose range of data. Sometimes the symbol is different. In the next slide I will show you a video on how transposing range of data, and you will notice that the symbol is a little bit different, but there is always this curved double arrow that specifies this is the transpose option. And anyway, when you hover on that cell, on that option, you see the transpose text coming out. So that's how you transpose a table. Okay, here is how we transpose a range of data, not a table as I mentioned in the slide before. We just select the whole range of data, and then we right click and copy, not cut, otherwise it doesn't work. Then you position yourself where you want this transposed table to be pasted, right click and select this option here, paste the transpose, and you see down there you have the table, well, the range of data completely transposed. If the data you have to transpose is already a table, an Excel table like this one that you see here, then the thing that you have to do is select the position where you want the transpose matrix, the transpose new data to appear. And here start writing a function equal transpose. I'll zoom in for a moment so you will see it better. If I can zoom in, yeah. That's where we want the transpose data to appear, and we write, let me zoom in a bit more so you can see it better. Then we will zoom out so you see the result. Equal transpose. At this point, you need to select the range of data you want to transpose, which is the table. You select the table carefully, and then in the transpose formula you say that the table has been called somehow. You close the matrix, and there it is. I'm now going to zoom out so you see the result. This is exactly the data in the table transposed in a new range of data the other way around. Flight number, destination, Sunday. This row became this column, and the data also too. So that's the way you can transpose a table into a range of data transposed without having to abolish the table. To go back from a table to adjust range of data, that's again very simple. You select the whole table, then you go into the Design tab that you see up on the right top corner, and then you just select Convert to Range. That deletes the table but saves the data in a standard, normal, simple range of data format. So when you open the link, this is the web page that you see. It's not online, I mean it's not real time. It's online but it's not real time. And you scroll down and go to roots.dat. Right click on roots.dat and save your link as well, actually on your roots.dat on your Excel folder. Once you saved it, then you have the roots.dat. You can open it, and when you open it, what you see inside is this. And those data here in text format, comma separated format, 2B, comma 410, B, A, E, R. The definition, the description is done here. Name, that's a roots.dat description. The first field is the airline, 2B, you know, AZ is Alitalia, DL is Delta. Airline ID, which is another 3-letter code, 410, that we don't care. Source airport, AER, like JFK, for instance. Source airport ID 2965, which you don't really care about. It's like AER, only it's a numerical code. Destination airport, KZN. It's the name of an airport. The 3-letter code, just like, you know, LHR would be London Heathrow. And then destination airport ID, and then other things that we don't care. So what we really want only is the source airport and the destination airport. And we will do an exercise on this. This file can be read into an Excel file. You open an Excel, say a new one, a blank workbook, and from the data, select from text CSV. From text CSV, then you find that folder when you have saved that file. In my case, it was in Excel practice. Select here all files, and you find roots.dat. It's that file. At that point, Excel will ask you if that's okay. If the delimiter is comma, and Excel understood it's a comma delimited file, or CSV comma separated value, then it gives you the preview of what is it like to read that file in this Excel spreadsheet using comma as delimiter of fields, which is in our case perfectly okay. So we load it. Takes a bit of time getting external data, you see, and then we load it. It's been loaded already in a table format, which is delightful. At this point, we have to change the name of the fields. This is airline code. How do we know this is airline code? Because it was in the description. Airline, then airline ID, then source airport, then source airport ID, and now we go back. So airline code. Column 2 will be airline ID. Column 3 will be source departing airport. Column C is airport ID. Column 5 is arrival airport. Column F, it's another column F. Column F, it's airport ID 2. Column 7, column 8, and column 9. Column 7 and column 8, we just delete them. And column 9 is the aircraft code. Aircraft code. Then we move on and play with this. So to recap, you have a text or a CSV or a DAT file that you want to read into Excel. When you open an Excel, you go into the Data tab. From text CSV, it might be written in a different form, and then import the data from the file that you have somewhere, the .dat, .txt, .csv, whatever it is. Sometimes you may just double click on that data and it's opened in Excel automatically. When it doesn't work, or when what you open in Excel doesn't make any sense because Excel has not understood the fields and it's just writing single lines of text with no possibility of doing any manipulation, any calculation on that, then you just go through the long way, like it's in this picture. Open an empty Excel, go into the Data tab from Text CSV, and select the file. And check then that the columns are correct.